right. This is a Gump report. Not a Gump goodness, but a Gump report. And this is 8 days old, this reporting. This is about Chris Bay. If you haven't checked one of the websites, or any websites right now, Chris Bay is finally able to walk again. After more than a few months, he's been able to get up and he's walking around. Thank goodness. Let's make this very clear. I don't think he's capable of wrestling yet. And the walking, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to walk 100% normal. He supposedly is alright. I think he got a triple fusion of his neck and the spinal column. Sheesh. I don't know. I think that's what happened. I didn't really check thoroughly for the article to find out, was it a fusion of the neck or was it a fusion of anything in the cervical spine? It shouldn't be. I think it is just a fusion of the neck. I think he got 3 vertebrae fused. But dude, to know that he's up and about makes me personally happy. It just does. I cannot say anything more, anything less. And it means a lot to me, personally. Because, for me, seeing a Chris Bay, who, I gotta say at one point, commented on my video one time, many years ago. I spoke about the ultimate finesser, which I call them the smooth criminal, because he'll steal your titles, he'll steal your money, and he'll steal your honey. That's what generally I was saying back then. And I knew Chris had something special in him. It's when he started working in Impact. And now, he's been X-Division champion multiple times. He's been tag champ with Ace Austin now, 2 to 3 times now. And I really did like Chris. And I really thought that either Ace or Chris could move into the main title scene, which they need. They need new people, at least at that time. But then he broke his neck. Almost died. Thank goodness they got him to the hospital. Thank goodness that he was given the fusion of his neck. And now he's able to walk. Even if it's not 100% able to run or to jump or to do wrestling, he's able to walk. But what does this mean? Well, before I do that, this is what I got to say. Sorry, I got congestion right now. I got to say this. I want to make it very clear to anyone who watches this. I've stated over and over again, I'm critical of TNA. I am. There's a lot going on right now, and I don't care what anyone says. Wait and see how management is running the company. Just wait and see. And I know one person said, oh, the guy who was the president of TNA was the interim. It was never announced. I don't care what you said. I looked on every website. It was never announced that he was the interim president. He was the president. So don't say that crap to me. Don't. If you know what the article was, leave a comment below with the connection to the article. Because there was never one article that said he was the interim president. Not one. So don't play that with me. If there was, and I missed it, my bad. I will take that. But if there wasn't one, then you're wrong. Show me an article where it said that he was the interim president for the last near 10 months. 10. At least 10 or 11 months. If there was one, I come on here and I say, you were right. And I got no problem being wrong because I'm not always right about everything. If I was, it would be fun to do wrestling reviews. I want to be wrong. But if I'm not wrong, and you're saying something because you don't like what I say, then the problem is you, not me. Because I said what I said. I've looked over this for the last year. The guy that was there was no interim. It was never announced he was the interim president. Not one article said it for the last 10 months that he was interim president. Not one. If you find one, leave the connection below. But I want to say this. Taking away from all the controversy that's been going on in Impact Wrestling, that turned to TNA, where now the interim president is gone and a new one is there. What is it? Carlos Silva, I believe that's his name, and 2 other executives, along with 1 former director of ROH. I don't remember his name. I think it was Baker. I could be wrong, and I'm probably wrong. Taken away from that, I've never stated once that I'm not thankful that TNA would not continue to sponsor Chris Bay. I want to make that very clear. Taking away from everything, they care about Chris. And that makes me so happy. They made sure that every time when they aired, at least until recently, they sponsored his GoFundMe. And when they were in the beginning of it, they kept selling all his Ben buddies. And all proceeds went straight to him. And they didn't do that for 1 week. They did it for multiple weeks. And that made me so happy they went there with him. That made me so happy they cared enough about not only keeping him on the roster, because he's still on the page, but they would sell his merch. And then when they couldn't sell the merch anymore, because maybe the bosses above them said, hey, we understand you care about him, but you got to stop now. Can we at least do the GoFundMe to sponsor it? Said, that's fine, just not the merch. And that's what they done. And that means the world to me personally, to know that there's still some people left in TNA that's going to care about people like that. And I'm sure there is. But here's where it gets interesting. What now? I know many people are going to say, what's going to happen with Chris? Well, of course, Chris has to still do rehab to see if he can gain back all the ability to be able to walk, because he was told he was never going to walk again. And he just walked. So he's probably got another 6 or 8 months of rehab where maybe he'll get full motion back and he could come back to wrestle. That's if. But I want to make this very clear. To me personally, don't know about you. And I'm sure people want to say, I hope he comes back. I'm saying this right now for myself. And I will tell you in the comments this very statement. I don't care if he comes back. You want to see him wrestle again? Me? No. If there's a danger of his neck cracking again? No. Fuck that. I don't give a damn. I don't give 2 flips. He needs to stay out of wrestling permanently. He can work out of wrestling ring, but he can work in the back. He can work as a manager. He can help in creative. He can do anything else, but getting back into the ring, if he can't do it, I'm 100% good with that. Now, of course, you guys are going to think, you're going to imagine him coming back. He's going to get back in the ring and give great matches. And there's nothing wrong with it. But for me personally, if there's any information that comes through the sheets and all the sites and say that there's a possibility that this could make it worse if a doctor had announced it. Because let's say that TNA pretty much, he said he was good, but they had to test him and they said they are questioning that he should come back. I know that there would be 2 reasons why they did it. 1, for his actual health, but 2, for insurance purposes. Because if they let him in and then he gets hurt, they could be sued. So essentially, I can understand why they wouldn't do it. But also, they could be worried about him. Don't want to see him get hurt. For me personally, if he's good, I'm good. I'll be glad that he can get back in the ring. But if there's any question that there could be a very strong possibility he can get hurt, I don't ever want him back in the ring again. Let him work in the back. Let him work as a manager. Let him work in creative. Let him work in talent relations. I don't give 2 flips where. I just want to see him safe. That's the same what happened with Biggie. Biggie, when he got hurt, when he was in that match, and it was Ridge Holland who did it. I believe it was Ridge. And I'm not mad at Ridge for it. It was clearly an accident. He didn't try to hurt him on purpose. Since then, Biggie has not been able to get cleared. But he's safe. He's healthy. And he's working. And even was included in part of a storyline to try and make the New Day become heel, which was great. If he ever could come back to work, back into the ring, I'm glad, as long as there's only major danger. Like with Chris Bay, same thing. But this is me. I do not want to see Chris Bay come back in the ring if there's a major possibility that, well, maybe more of a slight possibility that he could get hurt. And I know you're going to people. I know people are going to say, dude, anytime they can get hurt. Yes, but we are talking about a guy who almost died. I just want to be careful for him. I know he's going to be careful, even though he wants to probably get back in the ring and be a wrestler. But I just care more about the people's health than I care about them jumping back in the ring and entertaining my ass. And I'm sure many of you do as well. But it's just me. And I hope you enjoy this Gump report. Please leave me a comment below. I'll see if I can do some more Gump goodness. I'm not saying people hated them, but there's not that many people that like them either. So I may do a few more, and then maybe I might stop unless some people still want me to do it. Peace.